welcome to Ridiculous. I hope you're doing well wherever you are in the world. I hope you're living your best life.
I caught her fair and square. She hadn't been sloppy in leaving any clues. She's not cunning that way, so it made me think her boyfriend, lover boy, had coached her on how to cover her tracks. But the human conscience has a way of getting even, and true to form, she started accusing me of infidelity. She wanted more accountability, stalked me on GPS, and became a complete nuisance. I finally cut off all of her investigative access to me, and this drove her nuts. I put a security system into our home with contact alarms on every door. I also installed light hidden cameras on the front and back porch. These were wireless Arlo cameras and easy to set up. When on a business trip, one of the backdoor contact alarms tripped and the Arlo camera's motion sensor got his coming and going on record at 5 a.m. when the kids were still asleep. The next visit was the following night when the back door tripped again. I turned the camera on from my iPhone and made it continuously record. An hour later, I caught the whole exit scene on record. Arlo cameras have night vision for the record. The Arlo system was only a few $100 and all wireless. So I confronted her with the evidence. She stared at me for a long time. Her face was like a stone, like her whole brain was on fire. I left her to stew in her own juice and went to the other room to watch television with the kids. I texted her once to see if she needed anything. She didn't respond. And none of the home sensors went off, so I knew she was still inside. After watching a movie with the kids and a couple of regular TV shows, and plus ordering a pizza, at least 5 hours had transpired since I left her in our bedroom. When we were done watching TV, it was Friday night. I shooed the kids to bed and dreaded re-entering our bedroom. I stayed in the front room for a long time thinking about what the next stage of our lives would look like. A million different permutations passed through me. I finally went back to the bedroom and found her curled up on her side of the bed, snuggling a box of tissues. I asked her if everything was okay, but she didn't respond. After I got into bed, I told her we needed to talk. She was unresponsive, so I talked to her about a lot of different things. She didn't respond to any of it. That's when I noticed she wasn't breathing. I jumped out of the bed and raced around to her side. Eyes partially open, cheeks sunken in. She was dead. The coroner said she died of a heart attack. Her blood was filled with signs that she had stressed out right before the heart attack. She had then gone into a seizure and the heart attack just finished her. He said she didn't feel any pain and died very quickly. But how can he know that? In any case, this changed my future also. I waited for her lover to text her again. When he did, I replicated her prior messages and told him to come back for more. And when he arrived, to come on inside of the house. I took one of the Arlo wireless cameras into the bedroom and set it up to continuously record. It picks up sound and video. He came to the appointment, and I had set up her side of the bed with pillows to make it look like she was curled up and waiting for him. He tiptoed into the bedroom, stripped naked, and slid into the bed next to her, or what he thought was her. When he realized it was just pillows, he laughed and called out to her, like she was hiding somewhere. He went into the master bedroom and our walk-in closet, and I took the opportunity to gather all of his clothes and stuff them under the bed. His iPhone was readily available, so I put it on the foot of the bed. I own a .38 revolver and had it with me. When he came out of the bathroom, I turned on the bedroom light. Let me say that by this time, I thought I had everything together enough to confront him with this. But it was all I could do to keep from pulling that trigger. When he saw me standing there with the gun, his whole body shook and he urinated on his feet and on the side of the bed. "Don't kill me, don't kill me." I told him I wasn't going to kill him, as long as he picked up the phone and called his wife. He swallowed, shaking his head. He obeyed. Tears ran from his eyes and he had this painful grimace. Those contorted lips like someone who was about to flush their life down the toilet. I told him to put it on speakerphone. She answered and he answered back. I told him to take a picture of the bed and to send it to her. He did so, and then I told him to describe what it was a picture of and why he was there. She asked who was in the room with him, and he told her the husband of his lover and that I had a gun on him. She lost it and started screaming at him. I assured her that I would not kill him if she would come and pick him up at our house. I gave her the address, and she stayed on the phone with her husband all the way over. I told him to walk to the front door naked and to leave his clothes behind. Something he would have to do anyway if I had walked in on the two of them. He stood at the front door until his wife showed up, opened it, and walked to her car without a stitch of clothing on. She stood in the doorway staring at me. She was average looking, nothing to make her stand out in a crowd. I told her to come back tomorrow and pick up his clothes. She did so, and I showed her where I had stuffed them. She put them into a bag, and we stopped at the front door and talked for about an hour on how everything had changed us. I told her about my wife's heart attack and death. She asked why, but I said it was just so sudden. Nobody really knows when our time will come. I felt that if I told her it was because I had confronted her with evidence and shocked her system, she would tell her husband, and who knows where that could go. After all, if my wife's condition was really that delicate, who's to say one more sex romp with this lover wouldn't have sent her over the edge? She was 44 years old and in good health. Heavier than she should have been, but not much to cause concern. Her life insurance policy paid out enough to pay off our house mortgage. I gave $20,000 of it to her lover's wife so she wouldn't be so strapped when starting her new life again. She was thankful, but I didn't expect anything back for it. This was 8 years ago. She's since remarried to a great guy and he's good to her kids. I see them around every once in a while. He knows all about it. I've remarried to a great woman and we've launched the next phase of our life 4 years ago. She had a crazy past with a deadbeat husband. I might talk about later how we're dealing with him. She knows all about everything except for the part about confronting my wife leading to her death. I don't know if it was the catalyst. I feel a little weird about not checking on her that night she died. I'm not sure if it would have mattered, but I'm not certain I will ever tell my new wife the whole truth. After all, if she knows I have cameras and contact switches in the house, she might find a way to hide her undercover activities should she ever cheat on me. Why give away that advantage?